Welcome back to the West Block. Well, the House of Commons resumes tomorrow, and all eyes will be on the new Liberal leader and how he compares to Tom Mulcair. Both will be selling themselves as the only true alternative to Stephen Harper. Well, joining me now to discuss this and more are two veteran political communicators and marketers, Barry McLaughlin of McLaughlin Media and Allan Bonner of Allan Bonner Communications Management. Welcome to you both. Barry, let me start with you. At the starting gun, from a marketing perspective in politics, who has the edge, Justin Trudeau or Tom Mulcair?
Well, right now you'd have to say Justin Trudeau. He's got momentum coming out of this leadership. He has a lot of passion. He's got a lot of followers, if you believe his Twitterverse that he's involved in. You can see that he's gone through a sort of a 6 to 7 month in the media spotlight and come out surviving it, and indeed definitely enhanced by it.
Let's just say the marketing analogy may not hold in politics. When you sell a can of soup in a grocery store, you buy eye-level shelf placement. You run ads so that when the person walks by that can of soup, you go, oh, right, yeah, the can of soup. But in politics, you have to run ads and put up lawn signs and hold coffee parties and do all kinds of things, which may not translate into going to the voting place and ticking or crossing, putting an X at someone's name. So there are so many dots to connect and so many hops to make before you translate Twitter followers or likes on Facebook into a vote. It's like being back in 1967 and saying, you know, Pierre Trudeau has 100,000 names on a mailing list and 50,000 telephone numbers. Great, but are they going to vote?
I want to talk about what the Conservatives did so effectively against Stéphane Dion and against Michael Ignatieff in terms of defining the new guy on the block and defining him in not very flattering ways. But what was interesting, Barry, was that when Tom Mulcair came on the scene a year ago, the Conservatives didn't launch a negative advertising campaign. Why? What was the strategy?
Well, I don't know exactly why they didn't. To me, they allowed Mulcair actually to begin to define himself. I think you've seen him kind of gradually morph over the past year in particular from this kind of slightly angry, edgy, a little bit of a streak of arrogance in him kind of guy that wasn't going to, you know, he doesn't suffer fools gladly, into a guy they're trying to warm up, they're trying to make him more engaging. The old rule of politics is you got to define your opponent before your opponent defines you. You know, with Justin Trudeau, he's going to have to define his brand. I mean, right now he's got a lot of the positives of momentum and passion and everything else, but he's policy light. He has to start defining himself, and he's going to have to. He can't just wait around until the next election to do it. He's got to begin on Monday morning.
And he's got the money. He has enough money to respond to what I'm predicting are going to be devastating attack ads, remarkable in Canadian history. And if he doesn't use that money the way Ignatieff didn't respond, it's probably going to be over for him.
I want to put both of you for a moment into the imaginary Conservative war room, and your assignment is to craft the most devastating ad that you can against Justin Trudeau. What's that ad? Well,
it's already been done. There are tons of minutes of video of young Mr. Trudeau saying imprudent things, looking in different ways like D'Artagnan or whatever. And all you have to do in a negative ad is have the test of truth out. So in other words, the attack ad on Ignatieff that said he's just visiting, he indeed had been gone for 25 years and appeared to not know his Canadian policy all that well. So what you do is you have to have some truth about it. The attack ads on Prime Minister Harper didn't work because they were over the top about military in the streets and what have you. So you have to have them have an anchoring in truth to work, and I think they've got that. Here's a tougher bar for both of them. Mulcair has to remain the historic leader of the opposition, historic because an NDP leader has never done that federally. He has to remain that in order to be considered even competent. Trudeau has to win dozens of seats, at least a dozen or 20 seats, and in different regions to at least have a plausible victory story to tell after the next election. Those are very, very tough criteria to match.
Gentlemen, fascinating conversation. Barry McLaughlin and Allan Bonner, thank you so much for being part of this. I appreciate your time.